in the space in front of you that the entirety of space is filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas seated on cushions. Everything is made of light. The whole scene before you is made of light. They're seated on cushions and they're teaching the Dharma, or they're debating, or they're engaging the teachings in some sort of way. And you develop a sense of trust or faith in these figures and what they represent. And that trust or faith is generated on the acknowledgement that if we don't change our negative habits, if we don't change our negative habits of body, speech, and mind, that we are destined to repeat. Hi, Mark.
Hi.
If you'd mute for me.
Hmm?
If you'd mute yourself for me. Thank you. Nice to see you. That if we maintain those habits of body, speech, and mind, then we suffer endlessly. And because we haven't developed our spiritual qualities, then others also suffer endlessly because we're not able to help them. And so with that sense of fear, kind of a healthy, sustainable sense of fear, then we recognize that these figures, by definition, have certain qualities. And that those are the qualities that we want to develop in ourselves. And we want to help develop those qualities in others so they're a good source of refuge. And then we do the prayer. Jola Vengers and Ye Juvar Jozan Ye Chodan Sogi Jonam Jenju Bardu Dani Gavzoji Jogi Jenzo Gibe Zonam Gi Jola Vengers and Ye Juvar Jozan Ye Chodan Sogi Jonam Jenju Bardu Dani Gavzoji Jogi Jenzo Gibe Zonam Gi Jola Vengers and then we develop a sense of regret for actions of body, speech, and mind that are considered non-virtuous, which is to say that they'll ripen as suffering. And so we can think of, we feel regret for the actions we've done today and, over the week and month and year, and over our lifetime, and then imagine extending back all the actions over all the lifetimes, all the times we've killed, all the times we've stolen, all the times we've misused our sexuality, all the times we've lied, all the times we've been harsh with our speech, divisiveness, gossiped, ill will towards people. So this is with our minds. Or we've had ill will, covetiveness, being coveted, coveting, covetousness, yeah, and wrong views. So not believing in things that exist, believing in things that don't exist, denying the Dharma essentially. So imagine all the times we've done that over and feel regret. We wish we hadn't done this because it makes us hard. to be free from our own personal suffering. It makes us hard to help others be free from their personal suffering. So you think, I regret doing that. And then think, above the crown of your head, seated upon a lotus moon seat, are Vajrasattva, father and mother. Their bodies are wide, each has one face and two arms. He holds a dorje bell, she a curved knife and skull cup. They're embracing each other. The father is adorned with 6 mudras, the mother with 5. He sits to the Vajra posture and she in the lotus. Vajrasattva is your Guru, the holy mind of all the Buddhas, the Dharmakaya, who out of unbearable compassion embraces you and all other sentient beings and appears in this form to purify yourself and all others. On a moon disk of Vajrasattva's heart stands a hum, encircled by a garland of the 100-syllable mantra. A powerful stream of white nectar flows from the hum and mantra garland, and you are cleansed of all sickness, spirit harm, negative karma, and obscurations. So that visualization in mind. And then we say the mantra. SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA ANURAKTO SARVA SARVA SIDDHI KURU SARVA MAME MUNTSA Om Vajrasattva SAMAYA MANUPALAYA Vajrasattva DENOPHA ANURAKTO Sarasini maybe you're the Saragama to me, Sitan Shin Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarat Tathagata Vajraman Savajava Asmaya Sava Hum De Om Vajasava Samaya Manupalaya Vajasavatina Badita Jinumeva Sutagaya Meva Subukaya Meva Anaraktumeva Sarasini maybe you're the Saragama to me, Sitan Shin Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarat Tathagata Vajraman Savajava Asmaya Sava Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopha Jinumeva Sutagaya Meva Subhagaya Meva Anarakta Meva Sarasiri Mepiya Sarakama Sutsame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Paho Bhagavan Saratata Vajamam Savajabhavama Samaya Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopha Jinumeva Sutagaya Meva Subhagaya Meva Anarakta Meva Sarasini Mepiya Sarakama Sutsame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Paho Bhagavan Saratata Vajamam Savajabhavama Om Asmaya Om Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinavadita Jinameva Sudagaya Meva Sudagaya Meva Anarakta Meva Sarasini Mepiyata Sarakarma Sutame Siddhan Shim Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Saratagata Vajra Om Asmaya Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinavadita Jinameva Sudagaya Meva Sudagaya Meva Anarakta Meva Sarasini Mepiyata Sarakarma Sutame Siddhan Shim Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Saratagata Vajra Asmaya Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinavadita Jinameva Sudagaya Meva Sudagaya Meva Anarakta Meva Sarasini Mepiyata Sarakarma Sutame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Saratagata Vajra Asmaya Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinavadita Jinameva Sudagaya Meva Sudagaya Meva Anarakta Meva Sarasini Mepiyata Sarakarma Sutame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Saratagata Vajra Asmaya Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinavadita Jinameva Sudagaya Meva Sudagaya Meva Anarakta Meva Sarasini Mepiyata Sarakarma Sutame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Saratagata Vajra Vajrabhavama Asmaya Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinavadita Jinameva Sudagaya Meva Sudagaya Meva Anurakta Meva Sarasini Mepiyata Sarakarma Sutame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Saratagata Vajra Om Asmaya Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinavadita Jinameva Sudagaya Meva Subhagaya Meva Anarakta Meva Sarasini Mepiyata Sarakarma Sutame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Saratagata Vajra Om Asmaya Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinavadita Jinameva Sudagaya Meva Subhagaya Meva Anarakta Meva Sarasini Mepiyata Sarakarma Sutame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Saratagata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajrabhavama Asmaya Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinavadita Jinameva Sudagaya Meva Subhagaya Meva Anarakta Meva Sarasini Mepiyata Sarakarma Sutame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Saratagata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajrabhavama Asmaya Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinavadita Jinameva Sudagaya Meva Subhagaya Meva Anarakta Meva Sarasini Mepiyata Sarakarma Sutame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Saratagata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajrabhavama Asmaya Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva TITHA DINOPHA SUTO SUPO ANURAKTO SARVA MEPYATSA SIDDHI KURU MAHA BHAGAVAN TATHAGATA MAME MUNTSA Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva DENOPHA DINOPHA SUPO ANURAKTO SARVA KURU BHAGAVAN Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva DENOPHA Sudakayame Boa, Subakayame Boa, Anaractame Boa, Sarasini Mepia, Sarkama Susame, Sidin Shia Guru, Ha Ha Hu, Bhagavan, Sarkata Vajabo, Masme Sava, Umbe, Vajazava Samaya, Manupaya, Vajazavatina Latita, Jiname Sudakayame Boa, Subakayame Boa, Anaractame Boa, Sarasini Mepia, Sarkama Susame, Sidin Shia Guru, Ha Ha Hu, Bhagavan, Sarkata Vajama, Vajabo, Masme Sava, Umbe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva DENOPHA JINUMEVAVA SUDUKAYAMEVAVA SUDUKAYAMEVAVA ANURAKTAMEVAVA Sarasini Mepiyasa Sarakama Sutsame Siddhan Shiyam Kuruhum Ha Hu Bhagavan Sarasatagata Vajrasattva Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva DENOPHA JINUMEVAVA SUDUKAYAMEVAVA SUDUKAYAMEVAVA Anuragtamevoa, Zarzini Mepiyasa Sargama Sutsame, Siddhin Shiyam Kuruhum, Ha Ha Hu Bhagavan Sarvajatagata Vajrasattva Vajrasattva Samaya Sava Hundi. Om Vajrasattva Vajrasattva. Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva. From the crown of your head, Guru Vajrasattva says, Son of the race, your negativities, obscurations, and broken and damaged pledges have been completely purified. Think, before Guru Vajrasattva, I vow never again to commit those negative actions from which I can easily abstain, and not to commit for a day, an hour, or at least a few seconds, those negative actions from which I find it difficult to abstain. Can you imagine Guru Vajrasattva is completely pleased with everything you've done and pledged? Can you imagine Guru Vajrasattva dissolves into light and descends through the crown of your head? To the Om, at the top Om, filling your body with white light, purifying all the negativities and obscurations created by the body. then descends down to the throat, to the ah. Filling the body with red light, purifying the obscurations and negative karma created by speech. And then descends to the center of the chest, to the hum, to the hum, filling the body with blue light, purifying negative karma created by the mind. And then Om, white, red, blue, filling your body, purifying all negative karmas and obscurations created by the speech and mind. And then dissolves. So the light dissolves and becomes inseparable from your body, speech, and mind. You rise crystal clear, and all the beings around you arise crystal clear, completely purified. So there's no suffering anywhere in the universe. And then think that yourself, the creator of negative karma created consequences of the karma, are completely empty of existing from the outside, or empty of inherent existence. Even though they function. So they're empty of existing inherently, even though they function. And we dedicate the merit. So we dedicate the merit to long lives of all our spiritual teachers. May they have long, happy, healthy lives. May we never be separated from them. May we always see the best, may we always see them as Buddhas, and may we always work to help their wishes come true to the best of our ability. And dedicate that we're never separated from the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa and the other teachers, Nyingma Kagyu Sakya. And we're never separated from path of renunciation, bodhicitta, pure and emptiness, 2 stages of tantric practice. And may all those that think of us, remember us, dream of us, speak our voice, speak to us, hear our voices, see our bodies, see our images, speak our names, touch our bodies, like us, love us, hate us, hurt us, up to the point of killing us. May they never be born in lower realms. May they be qualified Mahayana teachers, friends, become Buddhists in that very moment. May all the environmental problems of this earth instantly cease, in order that those who practice the Dharma may continue to practice peace, those who practice the Dharma may begin in peace, those yet to hear the Dharma may hear about it in peace. May all wars, famine, conflict, oppression, all around the world, Afghanistan's in the news, for example, it's all over the world. May all those different conflicts and things may instantly cease by virtue of our merit. may all non-human beings be free from every kind of suffering. And the qualified Mahayana teachers and friends have become enlightened in that very moment. And may all the mundane needs of beings be met. So people need food, companionship, jobs, housing, transportation, all those medicine, all those kinds of things. May all beings have everything they need. And then may all the spiritual goals of beings, may those come into fruition. So if people want to become nuns or monks, go on retreat, memorize things, read things, study things, build things, they be able to do those things, and there be no obstacles to their goals. May all the institutions that support human improvement, like Norbuling, Maitripa College is where I'm at, and all the FPMT centers and all the other organizations that support human beings developing spiritually, they have everything they need. All money, support, praise, everything that they need. And then as we've done this practice, many people have died, found out they're dying, begun the process of dying. So if beings can become well, free from sickness immediately, then may they do so. So, in this country, then we can think of all those COVID patients that are filling up all the hospitals. And then of course, the effects of filling up all the hospitals, so everyone else that's involved too. So all the people that are in the hospitals. So if they can become well, then may they become well. And if they can't become well, then may they transition as peacefully as possible and become enlightened in the bardo state. And if they can't do that, then may they be reborn as human, meet Mahayana teachers and friends, qualified Mahayana teachers and friends, and become Buddhas in that very lifetime, in that very instant. And then at the very least, no matter what happens in our lives, whether we become Buddhists, whether we don't become Buddhists, whether we stop being Buddhists, whether we go to a different center, we leave FPMT, we stay in FPMT, whatever it is that happens, then at the very least, no matter what, then may we always have a kind, warm heart, brave heart, warm heart, kind heart. Because all this elaboration is for that basic purpose. At the very least, it's for that basic purpose. And then if you have your own personal dedications, then just say it silently to yourself. So we represent people that aren't here because they're not interested or they can't be or whatever. So we can represent those people. So we know people that are sick, we know people that are divorcing, we know people that are dying, all human suffering. So we can represent them here. Okay, so it's 8:30. I will let you go. Enjoy your evening, and I will see you next week, perhaps. We'll try.
All right.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
You
Bye.
too.
Take
Bye.
care.